and a 5, 6, 7, 8. Welcome friends, I'm Meryl Mania, and in today's lesson I'm going to help you to understand and play power chords. In this lesson I will teach you what a power chord is, the correct way to hold one using the correct techniques, and also how to make it transferable to every single key and note on the guitar. Also, there are some links just below on some other lessons I've done on songs which involve power chords. So, let's do it! So first up, a power chord is a chord that is made from 2 notes. It isn't minor, which sounds sad, and it isn't major, which sounds happy. It's just kind of in the middle somewhere. It's what's also called ambiguous. It just has quite a plain sound, but quite a fat sound, which is often used in rock and metal. But really, it's quite versatile, and it can be used in any genre of music. So for this example, I'm going to do what's called an A power chord. And later on in the video, I'll show you how to transfer this power chord shape to being in any key. So the A power chord, basically my first finger is on fret 5 on my orange E string, okay? And then my third finger is on the yellow A string on fret 7. And this is the most standard shape for a power chord, which helps it become transferable into any note we like. Wherever I play this, it's the same shape. Sometimes you might see a power chord which uses 3 fingers, and if you see this, what it is, it's this to begin with, but the little finger is just added on the blue D string underneath my third finger. It's on the same fret as my third finger, so this is on fret 5, fret 7, fret 7. It's still a 2-note chord because essentially what it is this finger is on an A note, this finger is on an E note, and this little finger is just on another A note, but a higher pitch version of it. So let's listen. A, an E note is held here, and then a higher pitch A note is held here. Okay, all together, we've got a really fat sound. Yeah, fat sounding chords just make me want to screw my face up like this, like an angry hamster. Next, let's look at technique, because we can't just sort of like hold these chords and strum them any old way, because then they will sound like a box of like silly sausages. So for instance, when I'm holding this chord, what's actually happening is my first finger is ever so gently resting on all the unused strings, because when we strum a power chord, we only want to hear the strings we're actually holding, not the others. So these last 3 strings are now muted. Therefore, I can strum carefree with my right hand, and it still sounds tidy. Let's hear the difference if I stop muting with my finger and have it arched. No one likes that sound. So it's really useful and beneficial for everyone's hearing if we mute with our first finger. Also, if we're going to play one of these chords leading off the A string instead, because you might do it here, so we're not using the E string anymore. It's the same shape though as earlier, but in order to mute this string, the E string, my first finger ever so slightly will touch it coming from underneath. It's just slightly just touching, not pressing, and then now it's muted. And so are these strings still from earlier. These are muted. So basically my first finger is doing all the muting. The tip of it is muting the E string, and this part of it is just resting on the unused thinner strings, muting those also. But if you're struggling to do this, it might be because your thumb might not be in the correct position. And that's really important, because if I just come a little closer to the camera, you'll soon see that my thumb is in this position. It's pointing up towards the sky, and it's low down. so it enables a nice gap to be between the palm of my hand and the guitar neck. So we have it at this angle, you see. But if my thumb was up high and there was no gap between my hand and the guitar, then now these fingers are arched, and now they would sound bad. So it's really important to have the thumb hanging down low with the wrist hanging down low, and then this will allow your first finger to become flat and mute all those unused strings. Like that. So the next thing we're going to learn is how to play a power chord shape as every single note and where it can be found on the guitar fretboard. So starting up, a power chord leading off the E string, the orange string. If I were to press fret 1 on this string, this is an F. Therefore, if I play a power chord from fret 1, it is an F power chord. So the note name of the power chord comes from whatever note your first finger is holding. That's what gives it the name. If I go to fret 2, this is called an F sharp note. And it's also called a G flat note. I know it's a bit confusing, but it has two names. Okay, so if I do a power chord from fret 2, it's a F sharp or G flat power chord. Okay, let's just keep going up now. So fret 3 is a G power chord. Fret 4 is G sharp or A flat. Fret 5 is A. Fret 6 is A sharp or B flat. Fret 7 is B. Fret 8 is not B sharp because that doesn't exist, except for that time Homer Simpson made like a barbershop band and they were called the B sharps. That's the only place that exists, I think. So fret 8 is a C instead. Okay, making fret 9 be a C sharp or a D flat. Fret 10 is D. Fret 11 is D sharp or E flat. Fret 12 is E. And then you've actually played all the notes because there's only 12 notes and we've played up to fret 12. So this means when we get to fret 13, it's the same as fret 1. It's F again. And fret 2 is the same as fret 14. F sharp again, and so on. So it just repeats around again, but an octave up, so more higher pitch. Now let's look at power chords that lead from the yellow A string instead. Okay, so fret 1 would be A sharp or B flat. Fret 2 is B. Fret 3 is C. Fret 4 is C sharp or D flat. Fret 5 is D. Fret 6 is D sharp or E flat. Fret 7 is E. 8 is F because there's no E sharp either. So basically there's no B sharp and there's no E sharp, but everything else has a sharp version. Okay, fret 9, F sharp or G flat. Fret 10 is G. Fret 11 is G sharp or A flat. And fret 12 is A. And then it all starts again on fret 13. That's A sharp, just like fret 1 was. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go through the notes on all the other strings remaining because it's very rare to play power chords leading off those other strings. Usually power chords would lead from the E string or the yellow A string because power chords tend to sound fat, and that's why people use them, because they want that fat, no nonsense sound. So you'd rarely play it like that, for instance. So I hope that's helped, and if you have any questions, please just post them below. Thank you so much for subscribing, or if you're about to subscribe, here are my social media handles. So remember, practice makes progress. Keep it fun, and I'll see you guys on the flippity flop.